College is a business, and it's really important that you make an informed choice on who you want to do business with.
Meet Siu-yee. Her parents immigrated to the United States when she was 6 years old. Growing up, her parents always emphasized the importance of a top-notch education. When it came time to go to college, she decided to go to a private school. In 2018, she graduated with a degree in chemical engineering and a boatload of debt.
I had a job right out of college, thankfully. I got my car lease, I had my apartment, and then I started getting my first few paychecks. And I started out making a decent amount of money for someone my age, and I was making way too much money for me to eventually just send it all towards debt. It was really scary for me to think that I would have all these payments. Maybe I wouldn't even be able to afford the minimum payments because some of my loans had such high interest rates. I was really embarrassed about having that much debt. I rarely talked about it with my friends. And one day I just finally looked up all of my debt accounts, all of my student loans. I ended up having $124,000 of student loan debt, and $20,000 of that was just interest that had accrued over the past 4 years. The first thing I did was look up how to pay off student loan debt. And I found Dave Ramsey, I found Graham Stephan, Asia Dang, all of these YouTubers showing how you can actually live financially minimally so that you can accomplish those goals that you have. I just kept finding ways to be a little bit more frugal, maybe a little cheap, as some might say. And I lowered my expenses in grocery shopping, clothes shopping, eating out. At some point, I was spending $50 or less on groceries every month. The next thing I tried doing was increasing my income, at least by a little bit. I tried some side hustles out there. I did DoorDash driving for a year or so. Postmates, I started writing online book reviews for money, and I decided to move back in with my parents so that I could pay off my debt even faster. I was able to pay off the rest of my car lease and even buy out my car. Once I did that, I was able to finally start tackling my student loans. My biggest way to kind of reduce that cost was to consolidate and refinance those loans. And I refinanced them 5 times. So I lowered my interest rates from an average of around 8% to 2.78% by the time I was done.
¿La quieres poner con esta? Coja con esta.
Inspired by Siu-yee's example, her mother decided it was time to tackle her debt. Siu-yee taught her mother how to budget, and within a year, she was able to pay off all of her credit cards and a car loan. Then Siu-yee's mother was able to help her daughter by paying off $29,000 of her student loans.
In 3 years, all my debts were gone, and I'm so grateful and thankful for her. I thought I would never be able to pay off this mortgage, ever. I said, okay, I will just pay the monthly payments, 30 years, and said, no, mommy, you can get rid of this mortgage in 5 years. Wait, what? And we're working on it. Never in my imagination, ever. It doesn't matter whatever happens to me. She has a house. She has something in this country, which is the most important thing. Love you.
Just going through all of this made me realize how important it is for everyone to be in charge of their finances and like understanding what their financial situation is, because not a lot of people do, and they spend money not realizing the impacts that it could have on their future. The first thing I would tell the 17-year-old me is to just not have that much pride. You should go to the college that you can afford. If I had just taken the time to look up and actually apply to public universities in my state, I would have saved myself so much of this time lost and income lost. Today I want to talk about my May 2022 Why Now budget. And the first thing I want to go over is my savings. I actually have nothing to send towards savings.
Siu-yee decided that she could help others by sharing her story on her YouTube channel, Frugality and Finance.
I just really wanted to share my story. I thought that if I did that, it would inspire other people to kind of do the same, or at least take control of their finances, which was my main goal. So I'm debt-free and just loving life.